Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. We have some updates. Quite a few cases I want to talk about that are major cases that will probably make their way to the Supreme Court. And I say that specifically because if you're following me on Instagram and Facebook, to 5 o'clock, like I said earlier, 5 o'clock, President Trump did in fact nominate Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the vacancy in the United States Supreme Court that was obviously made vacant when Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed. She is going to have a fight, obviously, and immediately, like the second that the announcement was made, Chuck Schumer started his BS, and the Democrats are off to the races. So yeah, maybe send a couple nice messages over on Twitter to Chucky. So that's that. I'm gonna switch hands. That is the Supreme Court nomination, Amy Coney Barrett. Now, personal, channel-wise, it's been, as many of you know, I had sustained a pretty severe back injury at work. I've been hurt for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in November. And got to the point where I need surgery. It is unavoidable. And in order to deter potential paralysis in the future, if I don't do it, I am going under the knife in less than 2 weeks. It's neurosurgery, which everybody who tells me about surgery says neurosurgeons are better than orthopedic surgeons when it comes to back surgery, but whatever. Just wanted everybody to be aware of that. So I'm going to need your prayers, your good thoughts, your good juju, whatever it is that you do. I'm going to need it, because I ain't going to lie, I'm pretty nervous. I mean, it is what it is. But, you know, when you read the list of possible side effects or risks, it was a little eye-opening. But I also want to give you guys and gals some updates on those four cases that I just talked about at the opening here, that could and probably will go to the United States Supreme Court. At least they'll be there for them to pick up. Will they take it? We'll see. But the four major cases, and they have to do with just about all of the gun control that we all hate, which is all of it. First one is Miller v. Becerra. This case is about the California assault weapon ban, which would also be about every other state's assault weapon ban once it gets in front of, if it gets in front of the Supreme Court. Currently, that case, that if you're not familiar with that California's assault weapon ban, again, these are their terms, guys, so if you're that guy who's already typing in there, oh my god, it's no such thing as an assault weapon. Yeah, I know. I get it. These are their terms. So that case was in front of Judge Benitez. You should know that name. Judge Benitez might be the biggest or the most pro-2A judge in this country right now. So he heard the case in San Diego. AG Javier Becerra was pushing for dismissal, and this was only a couple days ago. He pushed for a dismissal. Judge said, absolutely not. You're not getting a dismissal because this case will go forward. Another thing that the AG of California was saying that why it should be dismissed is that the people who were suing him didn't have standing because they hadn't suffered any quote-unquote damages under this law. And the judge said, you know what? Just because they hadn't been arrested or jailed for this law doesn't mean that they don't have standing. So that is actually really, really good news. So he denied the motion to dismiss, and he also set a hearing date for October 19th, 2020. And it's going to be a preliminary judgment. And if you're not familiar with Judge Benitez, you've heard of Freedom Week in California. That is the magazine ban case, which we'll talk about in a second. He did a preliminary judgment on that, and before he put in a stay for the order, which was requested, he let several million magazines flow into California legally. And before he put a stay on, his stay is actually making him look like a genius right now in that case. So expect the exact same thing to happen October 19th. I'll cover that here as well. If you want to stay in touch with all of this stuff, you need to hit that subscribe button down below. This is where you get all the Second Amendment news, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. And these cases will affect all of us one way or another. So, preliminary judgment and possible, I anticipate an order that day, October 19th. Well, immediately after, probably. He's not going to have the order that day. I think the last couple were like the day after. So the second case, we'll talk about Duncan v. Basara. That's the case we were just talking about. This is the magazine ban in California. Anything over 10 rounds, can't have that because you're a bad boy or girl. That case is currently awaiting the decision of the Ninth Circuit on the AG's appeal for an en banc hearing. Not too long ago, there was a 3-judge panel that said absolutely the magazine ban in California is unconstitutional. Immediately, well, not immediately. The AG had 21 days to appeal for the en banc hearing, and he waited until the 21st day, with about 4 hours left in the day. So that case is pushing through, and that case, the en banc decision is made within 21 days. However, that would have been September 21st or 22nd due to Labor Day. But because that panel, or the Ninth Circuit, reached out to the good guy's side and asked for them to answer some questions that were brought up in some briefs from on the AG's side, probably from the 17 communist states that said, or that backed the magazine ban. Because the court asked for some answers that kind of changed the timeline a little. So from what I can tell, and don't take this as gospel, I think it's October 3rd, which is that Friday next week. I think it's next week. I got 4 kids, guys. I don't even know what today is. So that's case 2, Duncan v. Becerra. The next one is Rhody v. Basara. Rhody v. Becerra is the California ammunition background check and subsequent ban, kind of, where a couple 100,000 people were denied the ability to purchase legal items, ammunition, and companies were denied the ability to sell directly to consumers. And guess who had that case? Judge Benitez. And he said that is illegal. It violates the rights of Americans. It violates the Second Amendment specifically. And for one whole day, he did a judgment and allowed ammo sales without the background checks that California instituted, as well as direct sale to be shipped into California. It lasted one day before the stay was put on. And that case, Rhody v. Becerra, will be heard by a 3-judge panel in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and that date is November 9th, 2020. So some good stuff coming here, some big stuff coming, and it's coming quick. So that's the third case, Rhody v. Becerra. Now, another case that I watched through the en banc hearing of 11 judges, and it was painful. It was the longest hour of my life. This happened, I think it was Thursday. This is Young v. Hawaii. Young v. Hawaii is addressing the de facto ban in Hawaii to carry a firearm. Hawaii has 2 permits. They have an open carry permit and a concealed carry permit, and they haven't issued any of them in 20 years in the county of Hawaii. And the sheriff there has the ultimate control, the ultimate decision on who gets them, and as thus, unless you're a security guard or a police officer, you don't get the permit. And one thing in watching this that I wish somebody brought up was that fact. How many permits have been issued by Hawaii? And the answer is 0, and that would have really solidified the violation of the second, but it didn't come up by any of the judges or the attorney, either one of the attorneys. I will say that that one's going to be tough. It was tough to feel out because there were definitely a couple judges for the second, definitely a couple against it, and the rest didn't really say anything. In fact, some judges didn't ask any questions at all, which makes it hard when you're trying to read the room, especially when it's on Zoom. So that we're awaiting that judgment. So they heard it en banc with 11 justices, and could be a day, 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. But if you want to stay on top of that, subscribe to this channel. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I've tried to bring the news to you at a rapid pace lately because it's happening hot and heavy, and if we don't pay attention, we miss it, right? So I'm trying my best to make sure it's on your radar and in your crosshairs what's actually going on, because it violates our rights. And if it violates the right of one of us, it violates the right of all of us. It's time to stand as one, because United we stand and divided we will fall. And Chucky Schumer and his crew in the swamp want that to happen. So I always say support those who support you. Now is a good time for you to join those groups that have our backs, whether it's GOA, Firearms FCP, Firearms Policy Coalition, SAF, the Second Amendment Foundation. You insert here, they have your back, whether it's Gun Owners of California or Oklahoma Second Amendment Association, or the California Rifle and Pistol Association, the VCD. I'm a member of probably 20 groups because I believe in them, and I only live in this state, but I'm a member of many others. So if you can do that, I suggest you do that because it helps, because the members are the lifeblood of any group, and we need them right now. We need them. With all these cases going forward, it takes millions of dollars, and it ain't coming from that car driving by, I'll tell you that. Also, check out things now that the world is a crazy place, crazier than it has been in recent history. Help protect you and your family. Join the USCCA. I joined, and I seriously stand behind them. I use my own money to join, and for myself and my wife. And just a year and a half when my oldest son is able to carry, he's going to be on it as well. So I would suggest you join that. Links are all down below. It's uscca.com/GNG, and if you join Gun Owners of America through the Guns and Gadgets link down there, they save you a little bit of money too. None of that comes back to the channel. That's going right to them. They need that for the fight. But I love each and every single one of you. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you're all preparing, because I really think that as we get closer to November, it's going to get crazy. So buy your toilet paper now, and if you can find freedom seeds, buy them. Lord knows we're all looking, right? All right, guys, until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.